People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Now the first thing that is popping in the news, people, it seems as if this taxi driver and his passenger, their names must be Grace and Lucky, because people, they are lucky to be alive. It is amazing how nobody actually died in this vehicle. Based on an incident that occurred on Spanish Town Road and the intersection of Maxfield Avenue, where a taxi was shut up, cornered up very bad. So people, take a listen, take a look to the video, and then I'll give my piece.
Yeah, man. Who said about the fire back?
I passenger my fire.
Fire, but a red plate, they just shoot the red plate.
Then him be gunman want to want you.
What the police are they shooting? Policeman.
It's a gunman. It's a gunman that shoot over the passenger.
I'm not getting a shot.
Me one there man, I want fly past me. Soldier, a year machine this to the brother.
I get shot. The driver alright.
Yeah, him good still. No. Him can't just tell me.
Well, he must get none of the looks.
If somebody doing a seat, then they must supposed to get around the such money did they with the fire.
Yo, simple, they might try to passenger seat. See the shot all run through all the
Uncle, look my boy in the seat.
Somebody get shot in the
Yeah,
passenger
man.
seat.
The boy in the seat supposed to get fed.
Somebody jump out.
All in the seat supposed to get fed. Soldier, what? Yeah, man, sit on the seat there. Sit on the seat, them, you see that? Oi, the man get, anybody sit down here, so get fucked. Watch it. Watch it.
One day. No,
Hey, see a gunshot up on the seat. Lick pan somewhere and drop in the seat.
Why are you going to see it, man?
A glass soldier, your machine, the same just put up, but your driver good still. Him get cornered up, but him good still.
So I gonna shoot off.
No, the passenger them shoot off.
Now people, like I said, passers-by, they were wondering, who was the intended target? Who was the shooter? Was it the Popo, Duppy, or gunman? Were they after the cabbie? Was the cabbie in the company of the wrong person, or was the passenger in the company of the wrong cabbie? People, like me say, this is preliminary information. Based on information, it is said that a couple of persons might have gotten conned up, including the driver of the cabbie. However, to the point when this video was made, nobody lost their life. However, people, we understand that things could change drastically, quickly. Now, when we talk about Spanish Town Road and Maxfield, it seems as if there is always some sorts of drama. There is always somebody losing their life. There's always somebody getting injured. Now, people, don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued. This might have been some sort of random case wherein they were looking for the passenger, they caught the passenger slipping, and then blaze up the car. However, people, when we look at the holes in the car, it seems as if most of these holes were directed at the driver, the cabbie. However, people, we understand, as it pertains to these shutters in Jamaica, them basically can't shoot, them hand lean, them hand not straight like no type of perm. So people, at the end of the day, if these persons actually made it out, they should thank their lucky star. However, people, a lot could change. But what this shows you is that nobody is safe. You could be a legal, law-abiding taxi driver, or you could be a passenger in a car of somebody that is hot, somebody that is wanted, somebody that has a hit on their head, and people, just like that, you lose your life. However, we must also understand that a lot of persons, including some taxi drivers, they are dibbling and dabbling in all sorts of activity, criminal activity. So therefore, anything could go down. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news is that we saw that the Popo, they were on some sort of operation in a place called Dunkirk. And they found an assault rifle with magazine and a couple of rounds. And when I talk about rounds, I am speaking about those that whenever them hit you, they are going to take you out. Now again, this is preliminary information. Don't know if anybody was arrested. However, the fact that the Popo could take off one of these assault rifles off the street with X amount of rounds that could have X amount, a whole lot of people. This is always a good thing. Kudos to the Popo. Now, last but not least, there's been some sort of passa mix-up on social media as it pertains to producer, manager, and this artist. I am speaking about Terror and also an artist whose name is Silk Boss, and his girlfriend, new manager, or his boo, her name is Bree. Now people, as a person that has been involved in Jamaica, the music industry, Jamaica on a whole. First thing first, Jamaicans, not every Jamaican, most Jamaicans are good, kind-hearted, trustworthy persons. However, don't get it twisted. You have a lot of ungrateful, evilous, bad-mind Jamaicans that are out there. However, in this case, I am going to speak about ungratefulness. Now people, just to speak in general, if you live overseas and you come to Jamaica, I am sure that you have experienced some sorts of ungratefulness, whether it be your family member, whether it be a workman, somebody that is doing something for you, or whether it be just a friend that you might have migrated a couple of years or a decade or so. And when you came back, you cannot believe that this person has changed for the worse. Your family member, that is basically BLOOD, is not the same person that you left as a youth, as an adult, and went overseas. When you come back, that person is totally different. You cannot recognize that person, not meaning physically, but the type of attitude, the type of characteristics that they display, it is very shocking. Now people, like me say, that is just speaking general about Jamaicans on a whole. Specifically about these artists, up and coming artists. People that are mostly from the garrison, persons that are mostly suffering. Most artists are ungrateful. Most up and coming artists, they are very ungrateful. When you just meet them, when them hungry, they tell you all the right things. And people, this is based on my experience being in the music business for in excess of 5 years or so. I kind of left because I was basically sponsoring music. Not saying that the artists were not good. However, there are a couple of problems, a couple of roadblocks. If you have sense, you would count your losses and cut. If not, if you have the patience, then kudos to you. Now people, basically, I am going to just speak in general, not specifically about this artist. When the producer met this artist, the artist told him a whole bunch of lies. The artist told him that he was not signed to any particular label. He was a free agent. So therefore, this producer, manager, spent a whole bunch of money that he made on YouTube, and he produced music, he did music videos, and most expensively is the money that you have to pay to these terrible DJs, all of them in Jamaica, in a thing that is called payola. So therefore, you have to pay these people tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to basically play your music repeatedly, so therefore it can get some sort of buzz and create some sort of income for the artist, make the artist known. However, people, in this case and in most cases, these artists, once them get the break, they don't remember where they are coming from. Once you sign them, once them get a break, them start to get hype. And you, as an artist producer or artist manager, if you are not tough, they will run over you. If you are not tough, they will give you all sorts of death threats once they reach where they think that they are okay and they don't need you anymore. So therefore, me I talk about a set of exploiters people. And people, this does not just apply to artists, it applies to Jamaicans in general. Most Jamaicans are ungrateful, and people like them say, music and artists, it is a reflection of life in Jamaica. So therefore, this man now spend up a whole bunch of money on this artist. The artist tell him say he was not signed. Now people, whenever you're signed to an agent, a manager, contractually. Until that has expired, you cannot be signed by somebody else. So what this artist was doing, he was producing or making music for several different producers, manager, and he did not tell the next person. So therefore, he was signed and then signed again, even though that would have been illegal. Now, people, things got so bitter, wherein all sorts of verbal altercation, all sorts of threats were being made. And people, at the end of the day, this little artist boy named Silk Boss, he found a girlfriend, and people, it seems as if this girlfriend is what they call one of those social media influencers. That means that they are famous for being infamous. They are famous for being some sort of Sketelina. So therefore, it seems as if she wanted to promote herself. She wanted to put herself out there, and she had the artist doing all sorts of flaky stuff. Now, people, when the same manager that sent for this artist that was living in the country, produce him, wash him off, clean him up, and put him out there to the world, this same artist turned him back now for a woman that he just met a couple of months ago. And people, when we talk about a couple of months ago, I am not even speaking about a decent young lady. Her name is Bree. She is one of those, what you call, opportunists. She is one of those persons that you call, attention-seeking HOs. So people, now this man is going back and forth with this artist and this girl, and he did good. His intentions are good. He spent a whole lot of money. Now he is getting all sorts of threats. Now this artist is acting very ungrateful, and people, it seems as if this artist is so fool. He is so caught up. It seems as if he is influenced. He is under the influence of the pumps. It seems as if the artist don't really know himself. It seems as if the artist forget everything, all the game plan that they first implemented, and that was what led him to being successful. Now people, he is going to down spiral, and people, like me say, whatever he gets, if his career flops, and people, I am not wishing any sorts of ill on any sorts of body. However, whenever you play people like that, whenever you are ungrateful, there's a thing that is called karma. And people, I would not be surprised if this artist flop, and nobody else with any sorts of money should invest in an artist like this and artists like these. So people may just say, hopefully he get the break. Hopefully he can maintain, because people, based on how he is acting, he should be done, kaput, point blank, and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.